Afternoon peeps, good afternoon everyone. How's everyone doing? Hopefully you guys are all doing well. Don't forget, hit that subscribe button if you guys are new to the channel. Don't forget as well to like and share the vids. Every single time your boy goes away, shit pops off. Shit pops off. Talking about things popping off, Floyd Mayweather versus Jon Gotti III. That popped off. Crazy. I've not even seen the fight. I've only seen the last sort of 20 seconds when Kenny Bayless says enough's enough and Jon Gotti's like, fuck you, enough's enough. We're still fighting. And that brawl was crazy. It was crazy. Not only in the ring, in the stands, backstage. I've seen so many videos of things going off backstage. Don't tell me that Jon Gotti III and his family still don't have links in the streets. I mean, this one could get very, very ugly. But yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. That looked like it was a good attendance as well. Floyd's last exhibition fight over here at the O2 Arena was awful. I mean, in terms of attendance, this one looked like everyone came out. I don't know where it was, but it looked pretty packed in there. But yeah, I expect there to be, well, it might not come out, but I don't expect that to have a very happy ending for everyone involved in that brawl, put it that way. Let's talk about all the fights that happened at the weekend. Let's start with Adrian Broner, who says, I want all the belts, not just a Louis or Gucci belt, the WBA, the WBO, the WBC, and the IBF. He even done his famous post-fight interview saying, I am the can man. Anyone can get it, African, Mexican. It's good to see Broner back. Look, it wasn't Broner of old, obviously. If you were expecting to see Broner of old, then that's your fault. That guy doesn't exist anymore. But he's still got good hands, slow feet. He's always had slow feet. Even Broner, at his best at 135 pounds, I've always felt like his feet weren't slow. His hands were okay. The hand speed looked decent at times. Not much pop on the punches. The gas tank looked like it was emptying very quickly, but he is back, and that was the first one. It's just good to see someone like Adrian Broner in the ring. I always think fighters like him that have so much problems outside the ring, the best place for them is in the ring, 10-week camp, no issues, and let's see what Broner can do. 140-pound division, especially after the weekend, has become very, very interesting indeed. And Broner's a name. Can he still compete with the best? I don't know. I have no idea. I don't think so. But he's a name. And because he's a name, everyone's going to want to fight him. Ryan Garcia mentioned him on the weekend. Regis Prograis mentioned him on the weekend. Rolando Romero mentioned him. And I'm sure countless others as well. But let's see what Adrian Broner can do. Spence says Crawford fight negotiations were grueling. Tough obstacles due to Terrence's demands. Yeah, look, I've always felt... Obviously the fight's happening now and we're lucky it's happening. Not too long to go, by the way, July 29th. But I always felt this fight wouldn't happen just because both would demand so much. And I never felt that this fight would make so much. As the fight gets closer, I don't know what either are getting. I'm guessing they're both going to get 10 million plus. I never felt that kind of money, the fight, I didn't think the fight would generate the kind of money that both would want. But now I think it will. I think both are pushing it quite well in their socials. Terence Crawford's certainly pushing it. Errol's maybe not doing as much, but he's still putting out little clips and little videos, good behind the scenes stuff. But yeah, can't wait for it. Honestly, can't wait for it. Teofimo Lopez wants 9-figure contract to continue fighting. If not, we'll consider retirement. Teo clearly still has got it. I mean, he questioned. You guys all saw what happened at the end of the Sandor Martin fight. Do I still got it? Have I still got it? Yeah, still got it and more. That was a fantastic performance from Teofimo Lopez. Something that I was thinking about before the fight, and this happened, completely different circumstance, but this happened before the Lee Wood fight as well, with a lot of people on social media saying the fight should be off. A lot of people were saying it. They were looking at what they perceived was Teofimo's mental state not being correct and saying Teofimo should not be fighting. Look, these guys are fighters. Just what they are. And I was watching those interviews and you know, Teofimo's sort of chatter online. And I think sometimes we can jump to too many conclusions and say, look, mentally, he's got a problem. His mental state's all over the place. Maybe that's just him. Maybe that's just who he is right now. Yes, he's got problems outside the ring, but 9 times out of 10, most people that have problems outside the ring, the one place where they feel safe and want to be is inside the ring. I think Teofimo showed that on Saturday. Yes, he's got issues with his dad. I mean, he's not the first, and he certainly won't be the last boxer to have issues with his dad. Yes, he's got outside problems. He won't be the first, and he certainly won't be the last. Do you know what I mean? So sometimes you got to let these guys fight. I remember like a few weeks ago, as I said, when people were talking about the weight discrepancy between Leigh Wood and Lara. No, cancel the fight, cancel the fight. Again, these guys are fighters. Leigh Wood got the biggest win of his career. And now on the weekend, you could say, and some people might say Vasily, but I don't think so. I think this is the biggest win of his career. Teofimo, he looked sensational. He looked great. He looked so strong, so fast. Clearly worked on a game plan to target the body of Josh Taylor, and not just your single shots. Like, he went to the body, punches in bunches. You rarely see that, where someone just says, you know, I'm just going to work on that body, bang, bang, bang. And you can see them starting to have an effect with Josh Taylor. Josh Taylor didn't look like he had any snap in his punches. And look, he's been out in the ring 15 months. This is going to happen. I questioned, and this is not me, you know, being Mr. Hindsight, but I questioned, like, you couldn't make 140, or you said you struggled to make 140 15 months ago. All of a sudden, you're still at 140. And I said, like, sometimes in a boxer's career, you make those jumps in weight, not because you can't make the weight, but sometimes there's a bunch of young killers coming up, and Josh Taylor cleaned that circuit, right? It became undisputed. Then you go to 147. Maybe you can stay around in a weight class too long, and I think Saturday proved that. I want to kind of I want to dig Josh Taylor for that performance, but sometimes I think we've got to give praise to the victor. And I thought Teofimo just looked really, really good. Honestly, really good. And if he went up another gear, if he didn't put the handbrake on, I think he could have got Josh Taylor out of there. I think he just decided to kind of do the showboating stuff that he likes to do. But he's a fantastic fighter. He really is. And he proved that. I think now with that win, not only do I think he's the best 140 pounder because he's the man that beat the man, and I think that's fair. Some might say Regis Prograis. I think I'm going to stick with Teofimo. I mean, he's proved that he's the best out of that bunch. He's the best out of the bunch, and some of you might disagree and say it's Shakur, or some of you might say Gervonta. He's the best out of that bunch. You know the bunch I'm talking about: Shakur, Gervonta, Ryan Devon, because he has the biggest wins. Forget ability for a second. Forget bums on seats. Forget old ticket sales. Just in terms of resume, it's Teofimo by a mile. By a mile. Not if the second place is so far behind I can't see them. You've got on your resume the number one at 135 pounds at the time in Vasily Lomachenko, and the number one at 140 pounds at the time in Josh Taylor. Josh Taylor was number one as far as I'm concerned. That's fucking incredible. That's solid. There isn't a discussion, people. Don't say Gervonta. Don't say Ryan. I like all these guys. Don't say Devon because he's undisputed, and don't say Shakur. You can't. Teofimo has beaten Vasily Lomachenko, not controversial, and Josh Taylor, not controversial. Clean wins, and he deserves a lot of respect. And I think this is what he was alluding to, maybe before the fight. Like I'm not getting the respect I deserve, and I think he deserves all the flowers and all the respect now. This guy's good. This guy is very, very good. His dad spoke about this before the fight with Devin Haney's dad. Like, you know, maybe the last couple of fights, you know, I've gone in there and I've maybe got the game plan wrong, and we've tried to knock people out. We're gonna box. We're gonna box now. You know, he's a good amateur. We're gonna box now, and that's what he did. He boxed. For Josh, Josh is in a weird position. Because all of a sudden, 147 there's a logjam at 147, a big one, because the two best are fighting. If you're Josh, do you really want to fight Jaron Ennis? I mean, you might have to. Do you really want to fight Virgil Ortiz? You might have to. At 140, if you stay at 140, is there a weight issue? I mean, or is it just a case of you need to be staying active? There are some fights he can revisit. I don't know how attractive the Jack Catchell fight is now because there's no belt. I don't know how attractive the Regis Prograis fight is now because there's no belt. But I think the bigger problem for Josh here now is that, for me, that's 2 losses back to back. It's 2 losses back to back. It's not a good look, is it? It's not a guy again, especially for a guy that was undisputed. That's yeah. It's going to be interesting to see what he does. Do you stick at 140 and see if maybe Teofimo wants to run it back? I don't think Teofimo will want to run it back. not because Teofimo's scared, but because Teofimo, as you just heard me say there, wants this 9-figure contract. He's not going to get 9 figures, but he wants big money fights. A rematch with Josh ain't a big money fight. So that's now out the window. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens now with Josh Taylor. How attractive a fighter is he for a network, a promoter, without a belt? Not sure. But look, well done again to Teofimo Lopez. He silenced a lot of doubters in that win. Clean performance, really, really good. Again, looked so fast, looked a lot stronger. At times bullied Josh Taylor, and a lot of people were talking about the size difference, bullied the naturally bigger guy, and was just too sharp on the night for him. Whereas Josh Taylor, you know, one thing with Josh is that I've always felt like Josh likes to, and this is what he likes to have a firefight sometimes. He's okay and happy to have a firefight. He seemed to not want it with Teo. He seemed to decide to box, and then him boxing at distance, this didn't look sharp enough. Bam Rodriguez, I know Sonny has been talking a lot. That means nothing to me. That's the one that I think with Eddie's trying to get done, isn't he? There was a lot of talk about Bam coming over, and if Sonny won, which Sonny did, Bam and Sonny doing a face-to-face, but I think they couldn't get the contract signed on Bam's side. Look, Sonny's in a good position now, and I'm happy for Sonny as well. It's like he's going to get not only his flowers, but he's going to get his money, which is the most important. There are some big fights in and around him now, and look, Sonny's you know, to talk how much shit Sonny talks, you've got to deliver. Like, Sonny talks a lot of smack, and you've got to be able to back that up, and he does. Like, he's such a good back foot fighter on the ropes, isn't he? Like, you know, that's where as a trainer, you're like, get off the fucking ropes, man, what you doing? But he's so comfortable on the ropes, it's incredible. But look, him versus Bam's a big one. Him versus Julio Cesar Martinez is a big one. Yafai is a big one potentially down the road as well. You go up a weight class, there's Chocolatito, there's Estrada, those guys are still going to be around. So there's some big money fights, and a good thing for him, this is the most important thing, Eddie's got all those fighters. Do you know what I mean? So it isn't a case of, oh, we can't make that because it's a different broadcast. Eddie's got all of them. So, yeah, if you're Sonny, good luck, man. Looks like you're going to get exactly what you want in the next couple of years. Errol Spence, 99% of Hall of Famers die broke. I care about huge paydays, legacy, pound for pound. This used to mean a lot more. Yeah, he spoke about this. It's true though, isn't it? It is true. But that's not just in boxing. People will point to the fact that boxers sort of end their careers broke. Most sports stars do. Most do. Most of them get so much money they don't know how to invest it correctly. They spend stupidly. I mean, majority of NFL stars are broke 10 years after they retire, and those guys earn big checks. Basketball players as well. It's just sport in general. People, we have so many people that lynch onto them, and yeah, it's just sad. Like, so, yeah, when I'm at these boxing events, or even when I'm at sort of parties for some of these events, you see so many people around this one superstar, and you think, fuck, that one superstar is potentially paying for everyone here. And when the money runs out, all those people are gone, or some of them are gone. Zhili Zhang, Joe Joyce rematch set for September 2nd at the OVO Arena, Wembley. See, I knew this fight wouldn't happen in China. There's a lot of talk about, oh, Zhili Zhang's this big sort of figure in China, and, you know, he could fill out the Birds, is it the Birds Nest Stadium, and fight. He's fighting at the OVO. I mean, look, I'm happy that it's there because it means it's on at a good time and we can all watch it. But I do wonder about his pulling power, like his real pulling power in China. But look, it's good luck to both of them. The first fight was good. It was, right? We were all shocked when Joe Joyce stumbled. I was like, what the fuck? Terminator can be hurt. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this one as well. It's good that we've got a date. These guys don't want to wait around to see what's going on at the very top of the heavyweight division. They're getting it on again, and it's good. I haven't seen this fight. Derevenchenko demands a Munguia rematch. I won 8 rounds. Charlo Golovkin hit harder than Munguia. I haven't seen the fight. Some people have said it was very, very close, and the knockdown is what swayed it to Munguia. But I don't know. I mean, if you're Golden Boy, look. To be fair, look, fucking Derevenchenko gives everyone a problem. I mean, he's not easy work for anybody. Remember when he hurt Golovkin? I was like, oh my God, he's going to stop Golovkin. So it's not easy. So people that are kind of like, Munguia ain't exactly what you thought he was. No, Derevenchenko is just good. He's good. I haven't watched it. On my next video tomorrow, I'll give you what I think of the scorecards. He's not going to get a rematch. I mean, if he's pushed Munguia that far, he's not going to get a rematch at all. For Munguia, you move on. But I think, again, for those that are giving Munguia a stick, Derevyanchenko, go and watch his fights, causes every single person problems. That's just how it is. But yeah, well done to Munguia and Derevyanchenko. I haven't seen the fight, but well done. Josh Taylor, layoff had nothing to do with the loss to Lopez, most likely moving up to welterweight. Good that he's been very... I've seen a few interviews with Josh, no excuses. No excuses, the better man won. I think he said a lot of things like, I think I can beat Teo, but the better man won. And you know what? Layoff has something to do. He won't say it because obviously he got a lot of stick in how he handled the win or loss to Jack Catchell. But 15 months later, it has to play a part. It just has to. One fight has been active, one fight hasn't. It has to play a part. Sparring and all that's all good, but just fighting under the bright lights and you've not done it for 15 months, surely. Teofimo Lopez on 2 close scorecards. I knew they were going to do something kind of shiesty, but as long as the right man wins, that's kind of all I care about. When it's super controversial, you know how much that pisses me off. Anything else before Teddy Atlas firmly backing Deontay Wilder to knock out AJ? Yeah, I think Eddie's confirmed that he's got the offer now from the Saudis and they're good to go. It's a bit risky. It's a bit risky again. AJ, Dillian White, nothing's been announced, but AJ, Dillian White looks like it could be happening in what, exactly 2 months. What's today? Today's June 12th. I'm guessing if that is the case, it's going to be announced very, very soon. But yeah, looks like Wilder AJ is going to happen. Never expected this fight to happen. Well, I hoped it would happen, but never thought it was going to. Looks like we might get it. Bit too late, but looks like we might get it. Bob Arum names Martin Bakole, Agit Kabayel as options for Tyson Fury. Just give it to Bakole. Fuck it, just give it to Bakole. He's coming off a couple of good wins since the Michael Hunter defeat. He's wanted a big name. Looks like they've struggled to find him one. Fuck it, just give it to him. I don't want to see Agit Kabayel, Tyson Fury. Bakole will try and take Tyson Fury's head off. He will try. I'm not saying he will succeed, but I think we can all admit he will fucking go for it. And I like that. I like that a lot. Like Bakole will put up a much better performance than, not difficult here, but Dillian White and Chisora. Yes or no? Of course he will. Of course he will. All right. Anything else? Xander Zayas drops Ronald Cruz early in first round, easily wins 8-round decision. He will win a world title in 18 months. Book it. Book it. What else have we got? That's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. Again, well done to Teofimo Lopez, man. This is a guy that, again, Josh Taylor and Vasily Lomachenko in your resume, solid, man. Solid. It really is solid. Yes, he's lost to Kambosos, yes. But Josh Taylor and Vasily Lomachenko on your resume is solid. All right, guys, videos every single day this week. Book it. Peace.